Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and assembled company, wherever you are in this big, wide world. And what a time of day. Welcome to the World Storytelling Cafe, and especially because it is Tuesday evening, and Tuesday evening is my favorite, or Tuesday is my favorite on the cafe because it is our International Young Tellers. And we so far have two with us, as far as I can see. Is Jasname still with us?
She's coming back in.
She disappeared.
She's coming back in.
And we got Jasname and Margaret. Is that right?
Yes.
Hold on, let me.
Feedback.
So who's that? Margaret. So, Margaret, would you like to be the first person to tell a story?
No, I haven't been here before, so I would like.
So you want to listen?
Else. Yeah.
Okay.
Jasname is with us now.
Jasname, would you like to tell a story?
Yes, sure.
Of course you would. No. And if we can turn that up here so I can hear. So, Jasname, normally you would need no introduction, but Margaret is here. She has never met you before. So if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and then tell your story. And you can tell it in English. You can tell a story in Punjab. You can tell a story in anything you want because you're Jasname. And you can do exactly what you want on this channel. Jasname, please take it away. Please start.
Hello everyone, my name is Jasname and I'm from India, Punjab. Today I'll be narrating the story, The Musicians of Burman. Once there was an old donkey, a donkey which was utilized a lot. His master used to take full advantage of him. He used to load him with many goods. And once he was old, his master thought it was no use of serving him food because he was spending his money on the person who will not be able to do any work. And so he thought that he could throw this donkey away and buy a new one. Now the donkey heard his plan. He was surprised, he was shocked, and he was terrified. He thought that his master would do this to him. And so that night he decided he will leave his place and go to the Burman Road. And so he did. Without having a second thought, he went to the Burman Road. And on the way, he went few steps. He saw a dog crying in the middle of the road. And so he asked him, "Dear dog, what's wrong with you? Tell me whatever's wrong." And so the dog said, "Just nothing. My mistress thinks that I'm too old for her, and I can't do any work for her. So she has planned me to throw me out of her house." And then the donkey said, "Don't worry, my friends. You can join me. I'm going to make a musician band in Burman. I will play the flute and you can play the piano." And the dog agreed. And so they walked. They walked a few miles, and what they saw was a cat mewing because she was too scared. She was beaten up. And so they asked her, "What's wrong with you, dear cat? Everything is wrong with us. Tell us about you." And so the cat said, "Nothing but my master doesn't treat me nicely. They think that I'm not useful to them. They think I'm a waste, and so they've thrown me. And so they both said, "Don't you worry, Cat. You can join our band. We are going to Berlin to make a musician band." "I am playing the flute," said the donkey. "I am playing the piano," said the dog. "And I guess you can play a violin." And so the cat agreed. She said, "Yes, why not? I will join your band." And so they did. They went on and on. They were about to reach their destination, which was Berlin. But when they saw a rooster, and they asked the rooster, "Rooster, what's wrong with you now? Because everything is wrong with us." The rooster said, "My master has planned to chop off my head and make her dinner. And so I'm trying to find a plan to escape this house." And so they said, "To be honest, we need a singer in our band. Why don't you join us? We're also too fed up of our masters and mistress." And so the rooster did. He also joined the band and they went to Bome. Now they obviously wanted a place to sing their song. And they were all very hungry. And then what they noticed was a small cottage in the woods. And they thought it was the perfect place for them. So the donkey stood up with the window. Then the cat climbed on, and so did the dog. They saw there was a meal lying on the table, and they were very hungry and they were tempted. And so they decided that they will jump into the window. But they noticed few men. They were robbers. But they weren't afraid because they had their own band. They sang they sang so shoutingly that the robbers got afraid. And so they entered the window and the robbers ran away. They thought what was happening because they were making squeaking noise which were touching their ears and their heads were bent. So the robbers went into the woods and they just ran away, while that band of Burman had their dinner nicely. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasnami. And that was brilliant. A brilliant telling of the musicians of Bremen. I love that story. I've got an Irish version of it. Now we've got a special treat today because she's been trained by Despina, and who I see is with us. And she's sent one of her pupils, Margarita, and she is going to do what I can never do, which is tell a Greek myth. And not only that, she's reading this myth in translation, in an additional language, in English. How fantastic is that? Margarita, are you ready to tell your story?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. Over to you. Could you tell us a little about yourself before you start, where you're from, etc.?
Sure. Well, my name is Margaret Varthaliti. I'm from Greece, and to be more particular, I'm from an island in Cyclades called Syros. And I love stories, especially mythology. I like to draw. That's it. And I also love British English and languages, etc.
Thank you very much. And could you please tell your story now?
Yeah, sure. Today, I'm going to tell you the myth of Arachne. According to Greek mythology, Arachne was an incredibly skilled weaver. In fact, such was her talent that those who had witnessed it believed that she had to be an apprentice of the goddess of weaving herself, Athena. However, Arachne thought herself to be better than Athena, and claimed that were those two to compete, she would beat Athena. Her arrogance forced the goddess to come down from Mount Olympus to satisfy her request. The two of them engaged in competition. Athena made a beautiful representational weft of her contest with Poseidon for the naming of the city of Athens, and the olive tree she gifted to the Athenians to name the city after her. At the top of the weft, she put a warning of what happens to those who dare measure up to the gods. Arachne ignored it, and while maintaining the same vanity, she created a weft of insulting and mocking content towards the gods. Athena was infuriated by her audacity. She shred the weft to pieces and turned Arachne into a tiny insect known as arachnid, or spider, bound to weaving eternally, only for her wefts to be destroyed by the carelessness of others. That's the end.
That was a beautiful telling of that story.
Thank you.
I love that story because it can be very long, can't it? But just I think that was just wonderful, and you told it so well, and you read so well. Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
And Despina, I'm going to ask you, how proud are you of your pupil?
Pardon, what was the question, John?
Yeah, I said, how proud are you of your pupil?
I'm extremely proud of her, both for her English and for her bravery of coming here for the first time. And I sincerely hope she's going to become a regular because she's got it. She's got it in her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yes, Margarita, if you could come and see us every week, we would be really honored. We're a little short this week in Morocco of tellers because there appears to be some kind of football match happening. Do come in. So, I mean, we normally have this place full of young tellers on a Tuesday night, but I think everyone is watching the football. Do come in.
Hello. Hi, everyone. How are you?
I'm very. So, is that another storyteller that's coming? Yeah. Are you going to tell a story?
Yeah.
Well, I hate to do this to you because you've only just sat down. But we have very few tellers on. We've had Jasname so far in Punjab. And we have Margarita for the first time from Greece. And who is coming back? And that's the other face you can see on the screen there is Despina in Greece, her proud teacher. And so in here, well, I have someone, I have a hole in my head that names fall out of.
My name is Hada.
Hada.
Yeah.
Hada. So I spend my life mispronouncing names from all over the world. So Hada, so I'm going to try and get this right. Now, what was that?
Hada.
Anna, Hakawachia. Hakawachi for a woman? Hakawachia. So Anna, Hada is an Hakawachia. So I'm doing my best. You all speak, everyone on here on the show speaks in an additional language. So I am doing my best here. Right. Hey, Mum, Mohammed, do come in. Do come in. We are filling up. We are filling up. The football match is obviously finished. So, Anna, do you want to, would you like to take my seat?
Okay.
Don't be a big.
Yeah.
And tell the story.
Okay.
And I will tell him, if you keep looking up, it will work so much better. If you go from the book to there, book to there, book
Yes.
to there.
Yeah.
It would be fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Big round of applause.
My name of my story today is Childhood in Old Medina. When I was a little child, that time was a dream. I woke up from it when I became adult. I still remember when I went with my mother every weekend to my grandma's house in Old Medina. At that time, I woke up on the melodies of Milhoun. The Milhoun is an ancient poetic art that represents the Moroccan heritage and shows the elements of Arab Andalusian culture. My grandmother was loving this kind of music, and after taking our breakfast to time, because in Marrakesh culture we take breakfast twice. So after that, when I had the voice of my friends calling me to play, I went to them and my heart was flapping of happiness. We was playing a lot of games, but my favorite part was when we were racing to the sky. It means waiting. Waiting, it is a part of Moroccan architectural heritage, where we splash each other with water and playing until we got wet. Then when I finished playing on my way to home, the Moroccan traditional oven snatched my hungry soul, because cooking bread in the traditional oven is one of the daily habits followed by every family. So it was a sign of excellence, and we can say that it is an indispensable culture ritual. To meet my grandfather in front of the house, returning from prayer, to give me and my friends some candies. And he takes me with him, saying it's time for lunch, and taking a nap as usual. After that, all family gathered in the hall to exchange conversation and remember their memories together, also drink tea, until night falls and silence prevails. And my grandmother was telling me the story of Sultan and 7 daughters till I fall asleep in her warm embrace. That how was my childhood in Old Medina, and those fabulous days still live inside me as it has happened only yesterday. Thank you.
Whoa. I love personal stories. And you know, So that was the story of a Marrakech.
Yes.
There we go. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. So yeah. So and as life progresses, the language was so good in that. Actually, that your language is much better than your teacher's language. No insult to Kamal and Mohammed sitting behind me. But so, and what would be, if you like to tell that, not what necessarily word for word, but just so you could tell it like it was natural, like you were having a conversation, that is just the sort of thing that people visiting Marrakesh would be interested in, because it tells you really about Marrakesh and about what it's like to grow up. It's a story of growing up in Marrakesh, and it has that, there's an authenticity about that story. I loved it. I loved it. Now, I have behind me someone, and if he reads it from his book, I'm never going to speak to him again, because he's promised me he's going to do everything from his memory. So, were you lying, Mohammed?
No, he was telling a story.
Pardon?
No, he was telling a story. He doesn't lie, he tells stories.
Tells lie, doesn't lie, tells story. So, I think one more round of applause for, yeah, especially, and you will come and visit us again, won't you?
Yes, indeed.
No, not you. The young lady next to you.
Oh,
He misunderstood you, John.
Yeah, but now you can come up. Now it's your moment. I was just giving the young lady some glory there. You can have your glory later. Right. I'm going to now the thing. If I was younger, I could bounce up and down off this chair. So just well, just bow, and everyone now. Could you please give a round of applause? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, and it's brilliant. Now now it's his turn.
Yeah.
We're gonna let him. We can let him tell a story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She'll let you tell it. Oh, unless you have another story.
Oh, maybe next time.
That's yeah. Don't get rid of it all in 1 week. So, if you let Mohammed you can share, be fantastic. Now, Mohammed, I have no need to introduce you. You can introduce yourself and then tell your story.
I will. Thank you.
There you are.
Hello, and thank you to Mr. John for giving me this opportunity to tell my story. Although I didn't really prepare well, but I will do my best to tell anything from my memory or something I have heard before. So I hope you enjoy. Thanks. Well, the story is about a man was dealing about something really financial to help his family. He had 2 children and 1 wife. They were struggling to keep alive, and through day after day, he had to work at different jobs to keep the financial stable for his family and his children. One day, he saw a sign of selling organs. He wanted to seize this opportunity to have or to gain amount of money. So the man the sign appearing to. So when he was there, the man was searching for the doctor to have him discuss to what he's will do to selling his organ and what he will. He will gain, and how much money he will have. So the doctor said that apparently he wasn't a doctor, so he was like a crook. The man was really a little bit afraid, but he was excited to have the money. So the doctor, the crook, asked him that he would have his heart. So the man said, if I exchange my heart, do I forget about my family and forget about the pain and all the memories I have my family? He said, don't you want to have the money and exchange it with a good opportunity to have a good chance with your family? But the man said, I will not remember all my family. The man was thinking that all the memories and all the emotions that he loved, the emotions that he had to his family and his children, consistent in his heart, not in his mind. So the man required to sell another organ. So he said, what about to give you the kidneys? Because in Morocco, the liver, because in Morocco, people refer to the beloved one by the livers. So this is kind of weird, but here in Morocco, people don't refer to this to their beloved by deer or honey, but my liver. But the man a little bit got anxious and said, my love and my emotions to my families will not be exchanged or forgotten if I give my liver. And the doctor said, well, if you don't want to sell your liver, just choose another organ. And the man said, what if I give my spine? If should I will be able to live or to walk or to see my daughter married? The doctor said, well, if you want to have a lot of money to help your children and to see your daughter get married and live happy, you should do sacrifice. The man think a long of time before he decided. And he said, well, I will give my blood. How do you sell my blood? Well, so the doctors say, this is the cheapest thing that we will take from you. If your family doesn't matter to you, well, we will not give anything. So the man gave a lot of his blood to that man, and he get back to his family enthusiastic and delighted, because he has a lot of money to have or to keep with them along the year. But when he arrived to his family, he found out that his wife won a lottery. So the man was like feeling bad for his loss, but getting delighted, because if he didn't take this step, he wouldn't know that his wife will take the other step to get the lottery. And then the family lived happy and decided to agree before anyone take a decision or anyone take a step that make any one of their of his family in danger. Thank you.
Oh, wow. So Mohammed wasn't sure if he could remember that story, and he remembered it really well. And it's so, and what's really great is that stepping off 3 weeks ago, and people who've never been on it before might know this, that Mohammed would not do a story without looking at his phone like that. And now he says, well, I sort of remember this story, and I think I've got it. And then he just did it. And we learned something else. I learned, whenever we have these sessions, I learned something else about someone else's culture. And I don't think I'll get away with at home if I go back to England and say, you mean everything in the world to me, my liver? But it's great. I've loved these two, and everyone else who's been on tonight. Now, of course, it's that time when we praise. So, and we go around and ask the people in the room, that is either the Zoom room or the cafe room, to just say something encouraging about our young tellers. Now, do you want to speak? Do you want to say how wonderful our people are?
Oh my goodness.
No, you can, if you want to.
Hello. Hello, my name is Pilar. I come here all the way from Puerto Rico, the Caribbean. One day I'm going to tell you a love story. Not today, I'm going to prepare a love story to tell, but I will give you a hint. The love story is related to the love for this country, for the Maghreb, and the beautiful people and the culture in this country. I am delighted to hear your stories and continue to understand, the culture and what is in the hearts, the minds, and the daily lives of the Moroccan people. So it's really an honor to be here. And I promise in a future occasion, perhaps next week, the next time we have storytelling, I am going to be very honored to share a story of love.
Well,
I love that call to prayer is in my heart. Thank you. Shukran, Barakallahu.
Now there is an answer to shukran. What is that? What is your welcome in Moroccan? If I say shukran, what do you say back? That's more than I can remember. I've got my 2 words. Brilliant. Tell me tomorrow. By next week, I'll have it. Baba C, what have you got to say about how you tell us today?
Well, let me get the bad pun out of the way. So to the young man who, oh, by the way, you told your story brilliantly. And the fact that you were searching to make sure you got the words right only added depth and texture to the story. It was absolutely brilliant. Never be afraid of making a mistake in a story. Once you finish, what people will remember is that you told the story. So you are my liver because you delivered a great story.
Thank you.
John, bro, that pun was for you. But for the young lady, and for you, I enjoyed your story. I look forward to hearing more stories from you. I love that. And as you become more confident and you don't have to read from the page, you'll be even more brilliant than you already are. So I look forward to that. I enjoyed your story. Jasmine had to leave us because it was way past her bedtime and she has to be up early in the morning. But if Jasmine, if you're looking at this in the playback, your story was brilliant. In fact, you inspired me to tell a story, one of my stories this Friday. Margaret. Oh, Margaret. I know Despina is extremely, wait a minute, Despina, right? You're Despina's student. Yes, I get confused sometimes. I know she's so proud of you because you told that story so well. You know, I love that. I'm looking forward to hearing more stories from you. And the more you tell, the more comfortable you'll become. You have a great teacher. Well, she is a great teacher. You have a great teacher, but even more so, you are a great student. So thank you very, very much. And John Rowe, we're going to hold you to knowing how to respond to Shukram next week. That's all I have to say for the moment. Hello, Simona. I started to hum the.
Yeah. Simona, would you like to comment on that, Talents?
Yeah, well, I can't say much after Babasi. He said everything that there was to say. And I really loved all four of the stories that we listened to today. And Margaret, you were very brave to come. And I know that Despina is very proud, and even more so because it was a story from Greece mythology. So very, very well done. And to those in Marrakesh, very, very well done. I loved both the stories, and well done for not reading your story and trying to remember it. And well, I loved Jasname's story as always, and well, I tell the story as well, but I think that she told it brilliantly and better than I could tell it. So well done to everybody, and keep telling stories. I like listening to you during my break here at school, so it's wonderful.
Simona, your words and my words merely prove that great minds think alike.
Right, now, so can you unmute me? Am I muted? Okay.
No.
So we have one more person in here, and he talks nearly as much as Babasi. Kamal, would you like to make a comment about other people, about how wonderful people are?
Greetings, hello, Chirap, marhaba in Arabic language, our beautiful language like yours. So what I can say about all what I've already said is amazing thing. Could you imagine that the hardest thing in life is to speak in front of people, because it's not easy. And I'm so proud of being their friend, their teacher, nearest person to them. The best thing is to lift a friend and to make others being inspired by the knowledge you share with. This is most important. What I love is the way Hajar narrated her story, because this is her first time telling and performing and delivering, I can say, a story as well. Keep going. I'm proud of you. Second, Yunus is, now in this year, it's like like a fruit. He is so fruitful, such a fruit. His experience now going to ripen, because it's time for harvesting. And the most important thing is our guest. She came last week, and we shared many things. We discussed a lot of things. I love, by the way, I said to her, I love your country, Puerto Rico. Not only Puerto Rico, but Salvador, but also, we can say, Caribbean country. And I love Caribbeans. And I wish one day to hear one of the Caribbean stories. Why not? Because stories have not a special color or a special destination. I mean, when we share stories, when we tell stories, is happiness. It's like traveling. When we travel, we feed our soul, we entertain, and we discover new worlds. We meet new people, and we share our stories because we have a lot to say. And each story starts when you meet a new story. I mean, when you meet a new human being. Really, I love what you say about love. And this is the aim of literature in general and storytelling specifically is to, I mean, spread peace. I mean, values of peace, love, passion, patience. To be, I mean, I always love something Denzel Washington said before, is the most important thing in life are three things. There is no fourth, Baba C. The first one is, I mean, to, I mean, the first thing is to live a print inside others. 1, 2 is to share with people at the maximum, and the last thing, I mean, is to be the person others waiting always to be you. Because when you teach someone, I mean, is a big goal of teaching humanity. When you teach one, you teach like you teaching society, like teaching humanity, and because of all this, we are looking for, I mean, a beautiful, successful generation. So my aim in literature is to make, I mean, young people being the sparkling that glimpse our next future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Come on. He might talk a lot, but he talks a lot of sense.
Which is rare for this group.
It's been fantastic. So what a great evening we've had, and we have had proper international night. We've had Puerto Rico, we've had Morocco, various parts of Morocco. We have Washington, DC. We have Greece. We have Italy. And
Punjab.
we had earlier, we had Punjab. And what's coming up on the World Storytelling Cafe? Friday.
Yes. What?
6 o'clock UK time. 7 o'clock Moroccan time. Probably the middle of the afternoon in Washington, DC, or early afternoon. That's just to remind him, because it's Thanksgiving on Thursday, and he needs to remember that he's here. We have Telling Stories for Children, the amazing, the fantastic, the wonderful Baba C. And Tuesday, of course, we are back with our international young tellers. And we're going to break the rules a little bit because we're going to probably, I hope, have a story from Puerto Rico. So Puerto Rico. So fantastic. So meanwhile, thank you very much for joining us. I don't think there's anyone else in the waiting room. So good afternoon, good night, good morning, wherever you are.
And you were muted.
Good night.
And I can't wait to hear from Puerto Rico. That's going to be fantastic.
Okay.
Until the next time. Come back again, Margaret. Please come back.
I will, most certainly.
And we're waiting for him to hit that
I'll
little
stop.
button.
How do I leave? Everybody leave. Stop meeting. Let's go.